just a word of encouragement for those of you who have kind of seen my journey over the past few years. Um, I really want to encourage you all to keep pushing, keep figuring out what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to do. I want you to stop worrying about whether or not it is going to work out. I want you to put your focus on simply whether or not I'm at least casting my fishing rod into the sea to see what it is that what I can catch. I want you to keep on. If you catch the wrong thing, I want you to take a look at the bait that you're using, and maybe try again. I want you to keep exploring ideas, and the reason why I say that is because, listen, y'all, there's no guarantee that any one thing in this life will work. In spite of what the experts have been saying to you, even in spite of some things that I have said in the past, there's nothing guaranteed in life. There's no one reason why somebody else makes it and why somebody else doesn't make it. They might have done the same things at similar times in similar places, and yet it works for one and doesn't work for the other. However, one thing at the foundation that I do know is that if you do nothing, you will get nothing. All right? So as we go into 2018, one of the things you've seen me explore, you've seen me start, you've seen me stop, you've seen things work for me, you've seen some things not work for me. But the key thing is that I'm always exploring. I'm always trying to figure out what the next move can be or might be. And there's value in all of that, okay? So don't think that the value is only in whether or not you've established a great name for yourself. The value is in the journey, okay? The value is in the journey. So what I want you all to do is to continue going on that journey. Never stop journeying. That's the only way that you can, be claimed to have been defeated. But keep on exploring. Keep on figuring things out. That being said, come 2018, I'm going to be exploring and with career development, because that is simply where God has me right now. That is the work that He has me doing. He has me working as a professional development specialist slash, in other terms for it might be career coach, or career development specialist, workforce development. But He has me working in the southeast hoods of DC, teaching people what it takes in order to get their foot in the door as a professional. So what I want to do is make sure that as I am mastering that and as I'm helping those individuals, that I take what I'm doing there and I share the game with you all as well. What goes into creating, the documents and preparing yourself to land the job that is meaningful to you, and how that impacts the rest of your life. What skills do you need in order to make that happen? And I know I didn't always know this stuff, and I know that there are a lot of people out there who, in terms of trying to get their career started, they need that knowledge. So it's my hope that I can share some of that knowledge with you all, okay? And so one of the things that I've had to come to recognize, and I think that this is some wisdom for you all if you're paying attention, is that there is still value in employment. And I think that's important for me to say, because many people, I think, have made it seem as if only entrepreneurship is valuable. And watch this. Most of the endeavors that I do have an entrepreneurial, what do you say, persona to it. All right, I'm approaching it as an entrepreneur. When I'm creating these videos, there's an entrepreneurial spirit to it. But I've also come to understand that most entrepreneurs still at least start off as professionals. as employees. So I want to make sure that some people, or let me put it this way, I believe that some people have set themselves up for failure in some way, shape, or form because they haven't put in enough time in the entrepreneurial context and learned what they could within that context so that they can then apply it to the I'm sorry, in the employee context so that they could then apply it to the entrepreneurial context. So I'm going to do all I can to share what I've been sharing with my students on a day-to-day basis in hopes that it will allow you to flourish as an employee. So that being said, average is failure, as always. All right. Trust me, I have other new members to my team that I'm going to introduce you all to. There's going to be new work that we're doing. Listen, I'm excited for 2018 and what we're going to be doing. And listen, man, one thing that I've noticed, and hopefully this is something helpful to you all as well, but I've also come to the realization that it doesn't necessarily take, you don't have to do everything that you're doing in order for 20,000 people to see it and 20,000 people to like it. All right. Now, by all means, would I be happy if 20,000 people see this? If 100,000 people see this? If I get 1 million hits? Absolutely. But I think as you mature and as I've matured, I've come to the realization that, man, I'm not doing this in hopes that 1 million people will see it. I'm not doing this in hopes necessarily that you're going to keep on coming back to the channel. Those things would be nice. But my hope is that I would have given you enough value every time I come up to bat that you don't have to come back to the channel. Now, of course, you might come back to the channel because I just can't fit everything in one video. But my hope is that whatever I address in that video gives you what you needed to solve one of the problems that you're having. And that you're only coming back to my videos, only coming back because there's another video that makes sense for you to watch that solves a problem that you have. You know, but one of the things that I was doing over the course of my, journey is I found myself always having, always searching for here, or, getting caught up in saying, I want people to keep on coming back to see my videos. I got to keep them. Nah, listen, I'm not even about that anymore, man. I'm about doing some real work. And I am doing some real work in Southeast DC. And I want to make sure that if I do these videos, that these are only an extension of the real work that I'm doing elsewhere. But I don't want this to become, the real work. And I think that many people have made, and this is not to knock them. This is not to knock them, right? But I think sometimes it's easy with social media to get caught up thinking that your real work is the social media stuff that you put out there, but you have nothing of substance to offer in the real world. And I think that's backwards. I'm trying to offer substance in the real world and then bring that to you on social media in hopes that it will add value to you there as well. So we're going to be talking about, especially for the DC, DMV area, maybe Baltimore area as well, some pop-up events, things like that. If you feel like there's something of value that I can add to you. So that being said, yeah, man, Coach Vaughn, Professor Vaughn, Pastor Vaughn, whatever you want to call me. I'm not even trying to be locked into a box anymore. I'm just using Coach Vaughn because that's what everybody seems to know me by now. But my goal for the new year is that we would take things to new levels, that I would offer you some real value that will be helpful to you. That being said, this video is much longer than I wanted it to be. So, peace out. Until next time, average is failure. Let's keep trending upward, y'all. Peace.